Hello everyone! Today I am taking part in a really huge collab. This collab was started by a YouTuber named Doodlecake. I will leave her link in the iCard. And this collab is based on a theme. The theme is spring. So the first thing that came into my mind when I think of spring is flowers, so that's going to be the theme of the drawing today. I'm also going to try to make the clothing for this outfit a little more complicated for this video. I find that a lot of the times whenever I draw outfits, like for character designs, like whether it's for a standalone thing or for a series, I find that they're very simple and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I want to try something a little more complicated with this one. So the hairstyle for this drawing I was having a kind of hard time with because I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to go with it. So in the end, I just decided to go for 2 buns and some hair in the back, which I thought looked pretty cool, and kept that, and made the hair a little more curly, and then went to the outfit a little later. And for the outfit was definitely where I was going to keep a lot of the more flower-y design. I don't know how you'd say that. But at the bottom, I decided to go for some ruffles as well because I wanted to try something more complicated that I don't normally do. So I tried some ruffles. And I found that a really quick and easy way to make ruffles look like ruffles is to just do some squiggly lines and make them kind of intersect one another to make it kind of look like ruffles. I also added flowers to the hair tie for the buns in her hair. And I was thinking about whether or not I was going to add ruffles to the top of her dress as well. But in the end, I just decided that it wouldn't look the best, but still made it like this kind of flowy excess fabric that's not exactly ruffles, but still a little ruffly. So after I finished the collar of her dress, I would then go on to drawing a quick flower design onto the side of her dress because, again, the main theme of this was spring, so I really wanted to have that theme really consistent throughout this entire drawing. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure that was very big and very noticeable. So, to help with that, I also drew the same flower in her hair. Maybe as like a hairpin or maybe just a flower that's in her hair. And then I went to draw the shoes, and with the shoes I also drew a quick flower onto those. And for all of these flowers, I wanted to make sure that they were in the drawing at least twice, that way it seemed pretty consistent. So I also added them as buttons onto her dress. And then I added some clothing folds, which I think did okay at, but that might be something I may need to improve upon later. Then I did the gloves, and the gloves I mainly tried to keep consistent with the rest of the character design, just some quick ruffles, and also I added a quick flower design onto the outside of the glove where the outside of the hand would be. And after that, I did the line art. Now the line art, it's pretty much the same how I normally do it. Just thicker line art on the outside, thinner line art on the inside. And yeah, that was pretty much it. There wasn't too much that went wrong with it. It was pretty normal. I mean, there was some stuff that happened with the ruffles where I kind of went over some of the creases and stuff that happened with that. But other than that, it was pretty normal. Nothing much to talk about. And yeah, here's the ruffles. I think since I did a thicker fine liner for the outside, it went over some creases on accident, but it was really easy to fix, so yeah. Once that was done, I just erased it all and then went on to the coloring. Now, the coloring, I mainly tried to keep it very light, very fun, so I had a lot of pinks and reds, and I also had some yellows and blues. So here I just did some of the flowers, like mainly more of the big ones, like the big one on her dress, and the one in her hair, and also the one on her glove. before going to the ones that are the hair ties for her buns and also her buttons and shoes. And you'll notice here that I'm using my gel pen a lot because I wanted to make sure that these seem very lively and really popped. So I wanted to use that to help with like highlights and things. And now we're moving on to the dress as well. The dress I also tried to keep very like green and pink and blue, very happy and fun. So for the ribbons at her collar and near her torso, waist, and the ruffles, I kept that as green, just very lively and matched with the flowers. You know, spring you typically think of as very vibrant, so I wanted to make sure that that carried over for this drawing. And here's where the blue comes in. I know I was saying it, but you might not have seen it. So here's the blue. And here I also made sure to add some highlights. And I also made sure the blue was in her eyes as well, as I didn't want things to be in just one place. I wanted to make sure that they were in other places as well. So the blue is also in her eyes. I also made her have blonde hair because the yellow wasn't in too many places either. So yeah, here's the shading for the hair. The shading for the hair, I felt like it was very, like, okay. I mean, I made the yellow very, very bright, so I don't want to say very difficult, but it was not as noticeable to see the highlights as it might have been for anything else. And you might have seen my Posca pens pop up on screen. That's not because I was using Posca pens. That's because I was using it to draw an outline for the background. Originally, I was thinking of some, like, spring, like, background, a bunch of, like, flowers and things like that. But then later I thought that that would distract from the character. So later I just erased that and decided I would just go with pink for the background. So you'll see that I'm erasing it. And it took a while to erase, and it didn't entirely erase completely, but oh well. So here, I just brought in a marker, so that way it would erase, and kind of block the flowers that are in the background, as well as fill in the entirety of the background, but it didn't completely block out the pencil, but oh well. So here I'm going over the pink a second time, just to be sure that it looks kind of consistent with the marker work. And now I'm finally coming back with the Posca pens to make the outline for the background seem a little bit more straight and clean before I added another outline to the character, just that way she'd stand out from the background of entirely pink. And with that, the piece is done. Now, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. That'd be greatly appreciated. And with that, I hope you all have a magnificent day, and I will see you all later.